What is the first step in the customer needs analysis process? The first step is background research. This involves learning as much as possible about the potential product and your potential customers. I've found that it's useful to go on websites like Amazon to not only find competing products, but also to read potential reviews. This can help you down the road and guide your design decision making process. That brings me to my next question. After you complete your background research, what should an interviewee practice when asking questions? I would first like to note that one on one interviews are not the only way to conduct this stage of the customer needs analysis. Focus groups, individual product use, and group interviews are also good ways of keeping data. However, I've found that one on one interviews give me the best and most useful results. Before conducting my interviews, I found two good references on thedesignexchange.org, which helped me get a better idea on how and why I should conduct my interviews. Once you get all of the interviews done, how do you interpret the raw data? The first thing you should do is translate the raw input to product need statements. It is really important to focus on what the product must do rather than how to do it. From there, you can move on to organizing the needs by category, establishing the relative importance of the needs, which should guide your design decisions moving forward. Lastly, to bake off what you just mentioned, on a scale of 1 to 5, how important is it that you keep this data in mind when making design decisions? It's definitely a 5. Many products fail because they don't consider the customer needs. I've found that it's extremely beneficial to rank customer needs based on frequency and intensity of the need. For example, if only one of your customers mentions a need without much intensity, you might interpret this as a want more than a need. So my example is actually from my team's DIY rowing machine project. What you're seeing here now is the form that my team used to create comparable questions that every single one of our interviewees can use. From there, we imported the data directly to this Google Sheet, which allowed us to easily visualize and compare answers from all of our different potential customers. We then looked at more of our quantifiable data to determine what avenues and what changes in the future we might want to make to our design. Some insights that I had was that I had initially thought that our time per workout would be much lower, but it seems like our customers are fit and can work out for longer and more times a week. Secondly, I had originally thought that low cost would be our greatest customer need, but as you can see from our data, both comfort, adjustability, and the ability to collect data was high up there for our customers. We then looked at how many times different keywords were mentioned in our interviews, and this also gave us a better gauge of where we might want to move forward in our design project. And lastly, we grouped these different customer needs by categories such as architecture, setup, performance, cost, data, and aesthetics. It's clear from this chart that it looks like performance and our architecture, as well as setup time, are most important to our users.